Alright guys, well we are back out here again and we're going to try to catch some largemouth bass in this little pond right here. Or I guess it's technically a lake, it goes bigger out that way, but this little lake here is just behind my place, is just over there, 3rd floor, right at the end of that building. So it's nice, it's close by. We can pretty much wake up in the morning and get out here and start fishing. I got my 6.5 foot Bass Pro rod and reel with 25-pound braid and just running straight braid through a Texas rig. I'm going to be using either this green pumpkin shad or a Senko on this Texas rig, and that is the weight there, just a little bullet sinker right there, just to be able to cast a little bit further. Let me show you guys how I'm rigging up over here, and let's get fishing, and hopefully we catch at least one fish this morning. I've only got about an hour. All right, so we're gonna rig up a weedless Texas rig here. Show you guys how I do that. So we're gonna take the hook, stick it at the very tip, put it through about, oh, I don't know, it doesn't have to be that far in, kind of sort of just like that far in, and then we're gonna thread it all the way to the tip or to the shank of the hook, and when we get there we're gonna kind of just rotate it around. Just like that. Okay, and we're gonna stick the hook out through the bottom, just like that, and see how the hook is exposed like that. To make it weedless, all we're gonna do is kind of just pull that forward a bit, stick the hook into the skin of the worm so that it's hidden like that, and that way that open hook doesn't get caught under weeds and other stuff down there. So what happens is when the fish bites, they're gonna bite that, the hook is gonna pop out and be exposed like that, and then you get them in the hook set. So fix that up. There we go. All right, let's get this guy in the water. This is a great rig for fishing weedy areas like this. I see there's lots of lily pads. Like you could toss this right into the weeds and you'd still be able to fish it out of there, compared to if you're using an open hook setup, you'd be getting snagged pretty much on every cast. So all right, fishing the Texas rig here. We're gonna just drag it on the bottom, reel in the slack, drag it on the bottom, reel in the slack, and feel for a bite when your line gets heavy or when you feel a tug. Sometimes it could be weeds on the bottom, but if it feels like fish or anything, try to set the hook. At least that way you'll never miss, even if it's just weeds. Sometimes you can give it a couple quick pops like that, give it some action, a couple quick pops. Okay, we'll get into the lily pads there now. See, comes right out. We did get some weeds right there, but that just comes right off. Now, let's just see if we can catch at least one fish today and make this video worth publishing. Oh, look at that little guy right there. I think those are called moor hens. So they're not actually waterfowl. They're more closer to the chicken family. Like they don't have webbed feet. So they aren't very good swimmers. If you guys, I don't know if you could see that, but they got like little chicken feet. So they don't swim very well because their feet are not webbed like ducks and waterfowl. And we're gonna be fishing at a little slower pace today instead of real aggressive, because they don't seem to be very aggressive when I was fishing yesterday. So I'm gonna try a slower pace. Oh, just weeds. Oh, another thing is, it's like morning right now. So we're facing the west side. The sunrise is over there. There's another pond back there, but it's just get beat down by the sun. So that's why we're over here on this side, because there's still shadows over here cast by these trees and stuff. You know, if you guys can see there on the lake or on the pond. Oh no, I think this one is a lake. But on a hot day like today, they're gonna be hiding in, you know, in the shade and the shadows cast over by the trees here. But the fish are in the weeds here. So I'm casting out there, but I'm fishing it through the weeds because that seems to be where they are, in the shade under the lily pads and just in the weed beds. Fish it a little slower once we get to the weeds here. Don't reel it in too quick. We'll just leave it there, give it some pops, give it some action. All right, yeah, we're still good. That's still fishable. Okay, a little bit too much weeds on that one. You want to clean that up, because when you got too much weeds on your rig there, the fish are gonna think twice about having a bite. When you got a little bit, it's okay, but when you got long weeds like that hanging off of it, they are going to be a little suspicious of that. So I want to clean that up all the time. Okay, we'll cast over past the lily pads here. Ugh. All right, you know what we're gonna do? It might be starting to catch on to our Senko here. So what we're gonna do is switch it up a bit. And okay, we'll take that Senko out. And we're gonna switch it up a bit and use this green pumpkin shad right there. We're gonna rig it up this exact same way. Through the tip, out the bottom, thread it all the way to the shank of the hook, flip her around, poke the hook out, just like that. Move it forward and hide the hook tip into the skin. Just like that. Same way we rigged the worm, but this is a little bit smaller. This is, I think, about 4 inches compared to that 6-inch Senko. And this is gonna have a bit of a different action compared to the Senko. So, to bite this. Let's go. Oh, that's why we're covered in weeds again. All right, last cast for the morning, and then we gotta go out and do stuff. So I'll fish again later this evening. All right, but last cast we'll do right here, because I seen a fish jump right over there. Well, that wasn't the best cast in the world. We're covered in weeds here. Yeah, this spot is tough because you get hooked up on all these weeds. Alright, I know I said that was the last cast, but you guys know how it is. There's always another cast. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, we'll fish it a little slower. I was going a little fast there. When you're fishing this, oh, there we go. That's a fish. Yep, that's a fish. 100%. Yes, yes. There we go. See, all it took was just slow down the presentation a little bit, and we're on a fish. Yes, this guy didn't even put up a fight. Oh, look at that. Yes. And they're just right in the weeds there. See that? It's probably the same guy that bit it earlier too. They like to drag you through the weeds after. There we go. What an absolute beauty. He's a small little guy, but he is a beautiful largemouth, Florida largemouth bass right there. Awesome. He's probably, I don't know, maybe half a pound or something like that, 3/4 of a pound, maybe a 1 pounder. I don't know. He's a small guy, but we're on a fish, so we got one right there. Yeah, baby. Let's let him go. Ooh. See, there we go, guys. Now I have a reason to publish this video. The Texas rig with a Senko worm works for bass in weedy little ponds like this. It works perfectly. So there we go. And you know what though? We forgot to take a photo of the fish. Damn it. Oh well. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for this morning. I only had about an hour to fish, but we got on that one bass, and that is good enough for me. Love it, because the best part is this little pond is just outside of where I'm staying, and it's super convenient. Just wake up in the morning and fish, and then you do the rest of the day's activity with the family, because we're on a family vacation out here right now. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please share it with somebody else that you think might like it as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.